Yeah. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Stayath Bakar here. First and foremost, Barakatah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Ba'ashem Barakadash. All glory and honor go to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, who the world ignorant refers to as God. Yahweh Shai, who is the Redeemer of Yasharallah only. Ignorant referred to as Jesus Christ. Also want to give um, a lot of appreciation to all the elders that have sincerely given us this truth. You know, from the One West camps all the way down to the GMS elders. You know, but most importantly, the Holy Spirit, man, because that's the deliverer. So no matter what you watching, no matter what you do, you know, don't mean you're gonna perceive the truth. So I want to extend those honors to more than just the elders of GMS, man, but you know, like Elder Priest Ariala and the likes. I don't want to veer off the topic, but I just want to make that known. You know, the history, Abba Bivens, it's important. You know, the foundations that was laid for us to lion back off of and grow in this truth and the spirit. But once again, remember that, you know, we're likened to Ezekiel 37, the rising of the dry bones, the dead bones. And I'm not gonna talk too loud, man. 'Cause, you know, people are resting. And it's almost 12 my time. So I'm doing this video on Moab. This is the part 2 video I said I would do. And the spirit was actually pleading with me to do this video. And, you know, the flesh is weak. And my flesh submitted to the spirit. So here we are. You know, the Most High is judging Yasharallah, man. And serious things are happening, you know. So we gotta, first and foremost, man, we gotta remember the most important things: to fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, follow the commandments, keep the faith, do the work of the apostles, and to have that humility and that love that King David had for each other, man. All right. Yeah. So it's all. So if you can grab anything out of this, you're like, I really don't feel like doing this video in the flesh. I was gonna watch a movie and try to forget like this world for a couple hours before I went to sleep. And I wanted to say, you know, well, I did some videos today. I read a few scriptures today. I posted some memes today. But you know what we did, even if it was an hour ago, isn't good enough. So, you know, when the spirit like willed me to do this video, and it's not that I don't want to do it. The flesh is weak, man. You know, we want to do things in this world sometimes. Sometimes you're stressed out of what you're dealing with, what your family members are dealing with, the elders in your family member, what they're dealing with, what your brothers are dealing with, and it's truth. And it's heavy shit, you know, so at least I can do is help contribute to building the kingdom. And this word, man, is comforting for us in these times, because we ain't got much time to be doing videos, and then pretty soon we ain't gonna have hey, it ain't gonna be safe doing highways and byways. So let's get into it, man. You know, the last video was a mixed message of exhortations, rebukes, motivation, and Moab. It was in the spirit, and it's gonna fall on those that needed to hear the message, man, because Us brothers, man, are stressing how important it is for us to push harder than what we really feel like doing. And we gotta remember why we're doing this for the king, man. And nobody gives a damn about Yahweh Shai like that. So how much more are we gonna put him off in the back burner all the time? So I'm doing this video purely through the strength of the spirit, man, because I'm mentally drained and exhausted, bro. And emotionally. And, some people are, oh, you're personal. Look, man, we human beings, man. We gotta be there. You know what I'm going through. I'm pushing through to help one of you brothers that's going through hell to push through too. That's what that's about sharing a few things of life. But the videos and what we're doing ain't about me. I'm a nobody. So let's get to it. I'm going to pick up at Isaiah 13. I'm going to start at verse 4. I'm going to take it down to Isaiah chapter 13. And then I'm going to go down to 4 through, actually, no, I'm just going to get right to the point because I covered this yesterday. I'll just get the whole thing. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see, lift up a banner upon a high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones, and have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The Most High is control of the left and the right hand side, man. And that's another thing that kills off the whole fallen angel concept. And he's commanded his sanctified ones, all right? And his sanctified ones are called his mighty ones, all right? The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people. This is the UN, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together, and that's the UN it's the gathering of the nations. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. All right, so that's talking about, World War III, man, and we're on the cusp of that right now. And it's ramping up every single day. All right, so now I'm gonna go to Isaiah 16, verse 6. We have heard the pride of Moab. He is very proud. The Chinese man, the noodle-eyed demon, is very proud, man. All right, he definitely is the apprentice of Esau. All right, and if anyone hates us, if anyone is the runner-up on hating Hebrew Israelites, it's going to be Moab, China, Ammon, Japan, and Ishmael, Arabs, and the Hamites too. So we have heard of the pride of Moab. He is very proud, even of his haughtiness, and his pride, and his wrath. But his lies shall not be so. Therefore shall Moab howl for Moab. Everyone shall howl for the foundation of Kirharaseth shall ye mourn. Surely they are stricken. Now, Kirharaseth is technically in Africa, but this is spiritually, metaphorically a prophecy. So it's talking about China, Hong Kong, etc., the capitals, the big chief cities of China. All right, so the Most High is not going to have mercy on them. For the fields of Heshbon languish, and the vines of Sibba, the Lord's of the heathen have broken down the principal plants thereof. They are come even unto Jazer. They wandered through the wilderness. Her branches are stretched out. They are gone over the sea. Therefore I will be well with the weeping of Jazer, the vine of Sibma. I will water thee with my tears, O Heshbon and Eleah, for the shouting for thy summer fruits, and for the harvest is fallen. All right, so, and gladness is taken away, and joy out of the plentiful field. And in the vineyards there shall be no singing, neither shall there be shouting. The treaders shall tread out no wine in their presses. I have made their vintage shouting to cease. So he's not having any mercy, man, on Moab. All right, and as we see right now, it's being shut down. All right, their ways, the way of life, they're on medical martial law, pretty much. And that's coming here to Mystery Babylon. Wherefrom my bowels shall sound like a harp for Moab, and my inward parts for Kirharesh. So the Most High is like saying, like, bring me their head. And it shall come to pass, when it is seen that Moab is weary on the high place, that he shall come to his sanctuary to pray, but he shall not prevail. The Most High controls the angels. And then, you have these idols. And these angels influence the left-hand side to pray to these idols. All right, but this is the fall. They're not going to be able to summon entities and spirits too much longer, because all those are subject to the king. And it was all just to play the heathen and bring them out so they can be destroyed. And it shall come to pass, when it is seen that Moab is weary on the high place, that he shall come to his sanctuary to pray, but he shall not prevail. This is the word that Yahweh hath spoken concerning Moab since that time. But now the Lord hath spoken. Remember that all caps Lord is Yahweh. Saying, within 3 years, as the years of a hireling, and the glory of Moab shall be contemned with all the great multitude, and the remnant shall be very small and feeble. All right, so they're going to get wiped out into a minority, and we know that China has the biggest population right now on the planet. It's 1141, Barakatham Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And Barakatah, you brothers and sisters out there, man. I'm going to look up this contentment. Contentment, a state of happiness and satisfaction. And let me see what contemned. All right, so contemned and contentment mean the same thing, but let me double check that. Yeah, so to be contemned is to have contentment. All right, cool. We're gonna go to Amos, the book of Amos. Amos is a really good book, man. Real easy to follow along, and is dealing with all the judgments of the nations, even Israel. I'm gonna get 1 through 3. This is Amos chapter 2. But I will send a fire upon Moab, and it shall devour the places of Kerioth, and Moab shall die with tumult, with shouting, and with the sound of a trumpet. All right, and we know that sound of a trumpet is when Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai comes. All right, and Moab, China is going to be a part of the Confederate Nations. All right, that are gathered together. all right, to fight Yahweh Shem Shai, the angels, and the 144,000. And I will cut off the judge from the midst thereof, and will slay all the princes thereof with him, saith Yahweh. So the judge thereof, the rulers of Moab, are going to be utterly destroyed. Man, I've had a strong case of hiccups. But that's just the wine. All right, so I didn't have this on my lesson, but I'm going to go to it. I'm going to go to Second Esdras to give more context to what we just read. And verse 13. All right, and I'm going to start at the top. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. All right, so you could just imagine the thermonuclear war, the nukes going off, those winds, right? Those winds from the four corners that the angels are holding back. And also we can perceive the chariots and just all the commotion, the storms and different things going on. And the nations being destroyed, and the billions of bodies that are littering the whole planet from famine, diseases, animal attacks, war, purging, suicides, natural death causes, etc. So this is the backdrop. You know, when you spray raid on a bunch of ants, that's the backdrop for humanity, and including animals, man. You see that the heathen in each nation are destroying their food plants. You know, I was just reading, that this fake avian flu virus, so that they can wipe out all the chickens and all the eggs. Mess around and be paying $1 an egg pretty soon, man. And verse 3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with thousands of heaven. All right, that's Yahweh Shai. And those thousands, 144,000 in the angels. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. So the Most High is destroying people, man. You know, and you having laser beams zapping. They're getting rebukes from Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, he'll slay you with his words, mere words, set you on fire. You know, or the chariots could be zapping you up, or he could be summoning and ordering 144,000 to just tear you to pieces, man, like a English muffin. So the world's just getting its ass whooped. It's revenge time. And after this I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together a great multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So this is a direct connection to what we just read in Amos and Revelations chapter 7. All right. So this is in the midst of World War III. And that's who that great multitude is the armies. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. That's the chariot of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Only way Esdras can explain it is as a mountain. And it's actually bigger than a mountain. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. That's because it did come from the earth. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him, all the armies of World War III, come together in that one world confederacy under the guise of UFO alien invasions. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid and durst fight. So scared as shit. They're going to fight anyway. Any of these people are jabbed up. You know what I'm saying? marked up. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, neither he lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he had cast out sparks and tempest. And they were all together, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one. So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, uncountable amount of soldiers and weapons, even regular people are gonna fight aliens. We've seen Independence Day, and if you haven't, check out Independence Day and um, World of Warcraft, War of the Worlds, which is on Netflix now, or you can go to fmovies.co. F movies, baby. So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. And when I saw this, I was afraid. Afterward, so China, this is how China goes down. Afterward saw I the same man come down from the mountain. So now Yahushua comes out of the chariot, the fathership, the Messiah, the Mashiach ship. Really, um, let me try to get the phrase because it's a chariot. So that word chariot, Makaba. I don't know how to say that in Paleo, but general Hebrew would be Makaba, and then Hamashiach. So Makaba Ha Mashiach, the chariot of Messiah. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, and some of them were bound. All right, so these are the classifications that the heathen's going to be put in. Either going to be glad, sorry, or bound. The ones that are glad are going to fare off better than the other ones. And some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awakened and said, Thou hast showed thy servant these wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayer. Okay, so it says some of them were bound, verse 13. All right, so who's doing the binding? It's 144,000. All right, so let me see. We're going to hit up Revelations. I have a problem adding an S to that. Revelation 18. I'm going to get 1 through 8. And after these things, I saw another angel. And Revelations 18 is about the fall of Mystery Babylon and the nations turning on America, which just keep watching what's going on, man. You're going to see the Allies backstab. The Israelis, the small hats, they've already started accepting the Chinese currency, all right, because it's starting to have more value than the dollar. So the U.S. hegemony is pretty much done. After these things, I saw, pretty much America's about to get backdoored. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having a great power, and the earth was lighted with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. All right, so we know what every foul spirit means. It's wicked, heathen, and that includes the 2/3. In the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Speaking of the prowess of the United States military, chiefly the Air Force, Space Force. For all nations have drunk of the wine of her wrath, of her fornication, the Western culture, and everything that comes with it, the LBGT stuff, everything. the drugs, the murder, and that's exported primarily through Hollywood. That's what teaches the world. That's what teaches the world to hate us when they get here, so that they know that we're niggas. Or else they would come here and want to cleave to us. They come here and they want to cleave to the Edomites. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of fornication. They're drunk with wickedness. They've gone the way of the wicked, because the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Job 9:24. And the king of the earth hath committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Stock market, trading, forex, merchandise. A lot of people in different countries are really rich because all they got to do is ship their goods here. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues." Okay, and how does that happen? I'm gonna get Jeremiah. I'm gonna read this out the Sefer. I'm gonna get Jeremiah 16:16. Mind you, my Sefer doesn't have the book of Enoch in it, Joshua or Jubilees. I removed them. It's a lot lighter too. All right, so Jeremiah 16:16. This is how he heard the voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues." Are we all gonna hear a sky? Come out of her, my people, a voice? No, it's through the brothers and the sisters doing this work, man, pushing this truth. All right, so that voice is right here. "Behold, I will send for many fishers, says Yahweh, and they shall fish them." So that's that pulling them out of Babylon, bringing us back into this truth, one by one. "And after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain." So we're fishing for the elect that were predestined to be the elect, starting with the 144,000. We're going to do this fishing for the rest of the elect. And then the fishers, the 144, are going to be putting in work with Yahweh Shem Yahushai, as we've seen in 2nd Esdras chapter 13. "Behold, I will send for many fishers, says Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill, and from out of the holes of the rocks." Those will talk about the bunkers, the deep underground military bases, the mountain bases. So when we go to the book of Obadiah, we can see a little bit more on what we were reading in 2nd Esdras. Obadiah 1:18. "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them." And remember, when he spoke, out came tempests and sparks and fire. Remember, he said he didn't have any weapons on him and he didn't do anything, he just spoke. Well, he was given orders of attack. It's time for 144K to exact their revenge. And you got these chariots on there and they're zapping too, like World Wars. I can't even get that word, man. War of the Worlds. All while, the elect are running out there like Flash speed with Superman powers. Super Ock power. And that's why when you go to Amos chapter 9, I can get that real quick. When we go to Amos chapter 9, you can see more developments on what the 144,000 are doing. All right, so here is Amos 9:11. "In that day I will raise up the house of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, and all the heathen which are called by my name, says Yahweh, that does this. Behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that the plowman, slave, shall overtake the reaper, slave master, and the treader of grapes, him that sows seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. Volcanoes will be erupting, nukes are going to be going off, destroying everything, melting everything. And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Yasharallah, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. And they shall also make the gardens and eat the fruit of them. So when Yasharallah is building these cities, we get the credit, just like Esau gets the credit for building America, but we know who really built America. They're going to be in slavery. We're going to be slave masters, essentially. So now when we go to same chapter, just at the top, we can go to verse 2. This is Amos 9:2. Though they dig into Sheol, which is the grave, thence shall my hand take them. That hand is talking about the 144,000 getting the elite out of the bunkers. Though they climb up to heaven, the space stations, thence will I bring them down. Man, it's about to be real. It's going to be marvelous, literally. All right. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight at the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. And though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and it shall slay them. And I will set my eyes upon them for evil and not for good. So it's going to be a horrible, horrible experience for the heathen, man. And they all deserve it, because they was all in on it on us during several lifetimes. So now I'm back to Revelations 18. So now we understand what verse 4 means when he says, come out of her, my people. We're that voice of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua right now. That's why we're representing the government. That's what makes this calling so important, and it's special, man. And for you brothers that have it on you, you know, you mean more to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua than you could imagine, because if us brothers, if we don't do this work, who will? We already know what Esau did with our scriptures. Ruined the world. Verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she has filled for her double. All the military destruction America caused is coming back on it. And China's going to help destroy America. Verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come on one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is Yahweh Allahayam, who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her. Now, who lived deliciously with America, man? China for sure, Saudi Arabia, the EU, Japan for real, you know, just to name a couple. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, her allies shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off. Okay, that's all I need. Okay, we're going to go to Isaiah. Once again, Isaiah is a really powerful book for prophecies. Isaiah 40 and 15. Behold, all right, so China is not about to have next, man. Like, we got next through Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Things are about to really get hectic. It's getting kind of hectic. Isaiah 40 and 15, behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. So you put every single heathen together that's ever existed, trillions of people, and what is their value to the Creator? Not that was too much. One drop. That's how much value all the heathen ever made have. One little drop. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket. This is Isaiah 40 and 15. This works for every heathen. This is a straight cut. Behold, this is how you know that they can't be saved. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Get some balance in scales. Can dust make the scales go up and down? No. That's how insignificant they're beyond insignificant. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. The isles are once again the nations. And when this was written, the world's tectonic plates were in a different structure. All right. What we see the world as today, when Isaiah was being written, America wasn't continental. It was just a bunch of islands. That's why it's now called the continental, because it was Most High moved through different earthquakes and things, and geographic shifting. Even other continents in the old world, it wasn't shaped all like that back then. That's why they hide the maps, from the 1400s on down. All right, so second Edges, we're almost out of here. The water for locking in with me, brother. Second Edges, chapter 6. 57, 56. I'm going to start at 55. That's the second Edges 6 and 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou made the world for our sakes. So this world has been made for our sakes, but we've been going through these captivities and these lifetimes and the ups and downs, tribulations, so that we be prepared to inherit the kingdom. Because essentially, we are, essentially, the Hebrew Israelite is King David. Even though there is a real King David, essentially, the Hebrew Israelites are King David. All right? And the army of Saul is like the heathen. And King David, the little guy, gets exalted over what's great. And we're the little guy that's about to get exalted over this whole world. As for the other people which also come of Adam, everybody, right? That's not a Hebrew Israelite. As for the other people which also come from Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. Thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. Oh, God's so loving. No, he's not. Oh, now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which, and when you say heathen, man, throw some stank on it, man. These heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. It's Deuteronomy 28, right? But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? Not much longer. It's happening now. Turn up. It's the last scripture. Turn up, man. This is time to push hard. And for you FTL brothers, man, if you can accept, you know, what the mission is, then you guys are back, man. Cause I don't hate my brothers, man. Just got to teach hard lessons in life, man. And it ain't something I personally like to do, but it had to be done, But we're not dealing with Enoch, we're not dealing with Jubilees, we're not dealing with Jasher. I did the videos, I broke it down, and I only needed to focus on the Son of God. Didn't have to get into the other stuff because it's overkill. Finally, this is Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. I thought the fallen angels kind of said, fuck that guy. I'm going to do my own thing and get some ass cheeks. Nope. We were the ones that said, fuck that guy. We're going to get ass cheeks from the heathen women, and we created the Nephilims. We're the gods. We're the sons of gods. We fell. We're desperately trying to climb back up, man. But we got to have, FTL, man, we represent the spirit of King David, man, not that prideful, egotistical stuff, because, scriptures and prophecies. The Pharisees knew scriptures and prophecies, but when it came time to know them and fulfill them in all righteousness and sincerity, we've seen what the prophets did. So we got to be like King David. We got to be humble and lowly and meek. Isaiah 45:17, this is the final one. But Israel, Yasharallah, shall be saved in Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Did it say this person or that? No, everybody. If you get killed in this world, you're coming back into the kingdom. Every Hebrew Israelite's going to get the inheritance because every Hebrew Israelite had to suffer Deuteronomy 28. And the inheritance and the D28s, the bad side of it, is all part of the contract. But Israel, Yasharallah, shall be saved in Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Salvation is power. Salvation isn't some, alabaster pink butt cheeks from some Edomite babies, eagle's wings in their back, and they're flying around, farting out pixie dust, and you're just laying there with like you're some Greek. Esau's gonna pay for that, man. Salvation is ultimate power and dominion and authority, where your culture becomes the world's culture or else. That's why we're gonna be rolling with a rod of iron. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. So we know that Esau is the end of the world, Jacob's the beginning of it. That follows, or paraphrasing, that's 2nd Esdras 6:9. So Esau's the end of the world, and we're called a world without end. Man, that's complete opposites. We're going to wear out Esau until he don't exist no more in that 1,000-year period. But they all got to get a chance to experience slavery. And as far as Moab, he's going into slavery too. So we got next. Moab don't got next. I pray this is edifying. I'll praise Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakak Wadash. And the tight thing is we have 44 with one viewer, so that's 144. Let's get it.